Hey everyone, it's Jordan, and today I'll be talking about my book haul. Or should I say, huge book haul. So I kind of went overboard. Like, I got these stack of books behind me here, and I have like two stack of books in front of me. And yeah, I went a little overboard, but I just know that I won't be able to buy as many books once the baby comes, so that's why I went a little overboard on this book haul. So, and plus some of these books that I bought myself and some that were gifted to me. So yeah, and yeah, sorry, excuse the mess over here. And over here we're at this point we're trying to get the baby stuff ready and stuff, and this is like just the stuff that we have. I would have done this standing up, but I'm just like, I need to sit down because my feet have been super swollen lately. So yeah, but anyways, I got at least more than 40 books in this book haul, which I don't think I've done more than that, so as far as I know. But yeah, let's get to the book haul. So I'm gonna start off with the stack over here. You can't see it. It has all the sequels that I bought, and the first sequel that I got is Questions of Holmes by Brittany Cavallaro. Oh my gosh, my brain today, and I apologize. This is the final book of Study in Charlotte's series, or Charlotte Holmes series. Any of you haven't read the first book is a retelling of Sherlock Holmes, but as if Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson have descendants that went to school together, and then they end up solving their own mysteries. So yeah, I love this series, and I know I want to finish this series, so that's why I got the fourth book. And yeah, I am really excited and sad about it, but yeah, I'm just glad that I got this sequel on my TBR. So the next two books are books 2 and 3 in the same series. The first one is The Lethal Licorice and Premeditated Peppermint by Amanda Flower. This is part of the what's the series called? Amish Candy Shop series. And if you haven't read the first book, which is Assaulted Caramel, it's about a woman who's visiting her grandparents who runs a Amish candy shop, and then they found a dead body in their candy shop. So I really enjoyed the series. I really like the characters, and I really like that I'm learning the Amish culture in these books. So plus I really like cozy mysteries, and I've been wanting to read more of them. So yeah, since I enjoyed the series, I thought I would get 2 and 3, and obviously this one is like it's a Christmas one, so I'm like, might as well get that ahead of time. So yeah, I am really excited to get to these books whenever I can, but more sequels added to my TBR. Speaking of cozy mystery, the next book that I got is Murder and Irish Wedding by Carlene O'Connor. This is the second book in the Irish Village mystery series. If you haven't read the first book, which is Murder in Irish Village, is about a woman whose family runs a bistro. I'm trying to remember on top of my head. If my memory's terrible, I'm sorry. And then they find a customer in their bistro. So yeah, I also enjoyed the first book so much that I want to continue on with the series, and having a murder mystery taking place in a wedding, it sounds really interesting to me, especially for a second book in a series. So yeah, and I just really like this cover. I like the design of the wedding cake. So yeah, anyways, I know a lot of mystery books take me off of a reading slump, so yeah, I'm excited to continue another series that I want to continue on. And the next sequel that I bought, which is the Bronze Beast by Rashani Joshki. This is the last book in the Gilded Wolf series. Have you read the first book? The first book is about a group of teenagers who are kind of like in a heist, but they're on a hunt for a magical object, and that's from what I remember from reading the first and second book. I know I enjoy this series, and I'm sad that it's almost finished, but I know some series have to end at some point, right? So yeah, I got got this, and I'm like, yeah, I want to continue on with the series. So I do hope that I do, because since it's a part of a trilogy, so at least I have read the final book. So yeah, I'm excited and sad about it, but again, I know sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, I'm glad that I have this on my TBR. And the next book that another sequel that I got, which is Call of the Crow by Jessica Corey. This is the second book in the Skyborn series. If you haven't read the first book is about a society that are divided by birds, and that's from what I remember from the first book. And I'm trying to remember what happened in the first book. I know I enjoyed the first book, but I can't remember a thing on top of my head right now, because I know I've read this last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember, but I know I enjoyed it. So yeah, I don't know how many books there are in this series, but I know it's one of the middle grades that I like, and I do hope to read some of the middle grade books that I've read to my baby once he's old enough. So and we know that we're gonna have more kids after him. But anyways, I'm just really enjoyed these middle grade series, and I know I enjoyed Jessica Corey's writing. So yeah, I'm just glad I got this. So yeah. And the next sequel that I bought, which is Crazy Stupid Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. This is the third book in the Romance Book Club series. If you haven't read the first book about a group of men who is about a man who's really struggling, and his wife wants a divorce, but he doesn't want a divorce, so he goes to his baseball buddies to for advice, and they formed a book club called the Bromance Book Club, where they read romance books just to be better in their relationship. So I love the first two books, and I know that the series keeps getting better and better from what I've heard, and I think there's only 5 books in the series, and the 5th book is like a Christmassy one, and I'm like, I want to read it, but I want to read the 3rd and 4th book first, because I know with a lot of adult romance books that are like companion novels, you don't have to read the first one to understand this story, but by knowing me, I just want to read these in order, just because that's how I am. And yeah, I know that I introduced this series to my grandma, and I know she's enjoying them. So yeah, I'm excited to read the 3rd book, just because I love the series so much, and I know I want to try to get to these as soon as I can. And the next sequel that I bought, which is A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. This is the 3rd and final book of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. If you haven't read the Once Upon a Broken Heart, oh my gosh, yeah. Pregnancy brain here. But anyways, if you haven't read it, the whole series is basically takes place in the same world as Caraval, but you follow different characters in this one. And I'm trying to remember on top of my head. I know that that I really like this series, and I do like the first book, but the second one I kind of felt iffy about. So I hope that the last book of the series is very more satisfying, because I do like Stephanie Garber's writing. I just don't know why when I read the first 2 books in the series, I kept thinking how much I like Caraval more than Once Upon a Broken Heart series. But I know I like the series, but it's just I don't know why, but I do want to finish up this series, and I do hope this has a more satisfying ending. And the next sequel that I bought, which is Prince of Thorns and Nightmares by Lindsay Miller. This is about Prince Philip from Sleeping Beauty. I have the first book of the series, which is about Prince Eric, but I haven't read that yet. But I know I want to get those 2, just because I know that these stories have grabbed my interest, because it's like how you not want to know the story of Disney movies that you like from the prince's perspective. And I know the 3rd book, which is called Prince of Glass and Midnight or something like that, which is about Prince Charming from Cinderella. And I saw this at on the bookstore at mall, and I was like, I want to get it now, because I seen it in person instead of waiting. So I'm just glad that I got this book, so I can read 2 books back to back if I want to. But But yeah, and also as a Disney fan, I can't help but grab a Disney book because I'm a big Disney fan. And the next sequel that I got is The Book of Life by Barbara Harkness. This is a gift from my mother-in-law, so I thank her for that. This is the third book in the All Souls series, and I know that it used to be a trilogy, but then the author decided to write 2 more books. I think it's going to be a 6-book series, but I don't know. But anyways, I'm really excited to read the rest of the series. Even read the first book. The first book is about a woman who's a librarian, but she's also a witch, and she's trying to guard this magic scroll from a vamp and protecting it from the vampire. And then of course there's a romance. So I love this. I love these series so much. I know they made a TV show out of it, which I still want to give it a try because I know who plays the main character, Diana. Yeah, Diana. So, and I'm like, I really want to try this series out, but I don't know if I want to finish the book series before watching a TV show or just watch the TV show. So, yeah, I'm just glad that I got this on my TBR just because I really enjoyed the series so much. And the last sequel that I have on my in this haul that I have, which is Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Worlds by Heather Fawcett, and this is a second book of I don't know what the series is called. I think it's Emily Wilde series. I don't know, but I've read part of the first book, but then I DNF'd it because I wasn't in the mood for it. But since I like the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions so much that I want to get them as soon as possible, because in case I do enjoy the first book, I would continue on with the series back to back. So I know the third book is coming out really soon. So yeah, I want to get this. And as far as I know it's about a woman who's been writing a Encyclopedia of Fairies. That's what the first book is about. And with this one, it's a sequel to it. So I do want to, like I said, I want to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition before they're out of print for some reason, or I think they're going to be out of print. But I just like these covers way better than the original covers. So yeah, I do hope to pick up Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies again, so I can pick up this one, because I heard nothing but good things about the series. And the next book that I got, which is More Than Once More with Feeling by Elisa Suman. I'm sorry if I butchered the author's name. And I actually got this from Blind Date with a Book at Barnes & Noble because I was curious about it. And they have a display like where there's they have it in like low package and you roll the dice to see what book you're gonna get. And I thought that was really cool. So I'm like, since I'm married to a guy who's a big board game nerd, so I thought I would give it a try, and I end up with this one. And I don't know what this is about, but I've seen this like everywhere, like at Target and Barnes & Noble and stuff, and I've noticed that one of her books is her other books is pink, and this is pink, but the original cover is blue because this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So yeah, I'm very curious about it, and apparently it's a music romance from what I can tell from the cover, and plus they have cute kitty cats on the cover. I'm like, it has to be Fate. So yeah, I am excited to try this out, even though I didn't know much about it, and I can't say no to romance, since this is from the romance spot from Blind with a Day book at Barnes & Noble. And the next book that I got, that I actually have read this book already, which is the Warm Hands of Ghosts by Katherine Arden. Oh my gosh. Again, sorry for the pregnancy brain here. But anyways, I did really enjoy this book. I can't remember what it was about on top of my head, because like I said, pregnancy brain. All I remember on top of my head, it's a historical fantasy about a woman who was a field nurse during World War I, and then she ends up finding a ghost or something like that. And yeah, I might have to reread this after I'm done being pregnant, because my memory is like very vague, but I know I enjoyed it. So yeah, I honestly feel bad for not giving a real synopsis. So, but I'm still glad that I've read this, because I haven't read anything about Katherine Arden, any Katherine Arden's books, and I know I really want to read her Winter Night trilogy. So, because I know that's one of her popular books. So yeah, and I got this Owl Grey edition. It's very pretty, and then the end papers here and under the desk jacket is also really pretty. So yeah, and even under the desk jacket. So yeah, I just like this cover better than the original cover. So I'm like, yeah, this one's a prettier cover. So yeah, I'm glad that I've read this, but I know I need to reread it when I'm not pregnant. So, but anyways, I'm still glad that I got this and read it. And the next book that I got, which is The Enchanting Case of Spirits by Melissa Holt, and this is a book that I picked at Half Price Books out on a whim because I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Like, not just because I really like this cover, but I haven't heard anybody talk about this on BookTube. All I know about it is about a woman who just lost her husband, and she's trying to balance single mother life and with her daughter, and then she meets with a detective, like ghost, or a detective that involves ghosts. I have no idea, but I'm really interested in reading this book just because of, not only because of the cover, but also the plot has caught my interest. So yeah, it was, I don't usually pick up books out of the wind, but this one just sounds really interesting to me. So yeah, I do hope to enjoy this, because and then it's an author debut, which is really cool. So hopefully I end up enjoying this, because I really enjoy the cover, and the premise just really sounded interesting to me. And the next book, two books that I got, they were gifted from my grandma, so thanks to my grandma for that. And it's on the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore. I just really like these covers, and I know that these have been hyped on BookTube, and from what I gather, it's like a small town romance from what I can tell. And yeah, I just really love the artwork for both of these books. I know the third book just came out this year, and I believe that this one came out earlier than that, because I know the third book is called The Christmas Tree Farm. So yeah, and that's all I know about it. I know these books have been hyped on BookTube, and I just want to give them a try, saying as I know with a lot of hyped books, they're either hit or miss for me, but I just really like these covers, and the premise just sounded interesting, especially with the coffee shop called Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So yeah, I do hope to enjoy these books, just because I really like the covers, and plus they were gifted from my grandma. So and yeah, but anyways, I do hope to enjoy these books. And the next book that I got is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. This is the same author as The Girl Who Drank the Moon, which I've read a few years ago and really enjoyed. And since I saw this book that came out either a year or two ago, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it's just about it's like a historical fantasy about women that, like, from a family of women that after they reach a certain age they turn into dragons. That's as far as I know. And yeah, the cover's really interesting, and you can see the dragon peeking in the corner. So yeah, since I've read a book from the author previously, I thought I would give this a try, and like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and hopefully I end up enjoying it. And it's an adult fantasy, which is really interesting to me, since I know that she wrote a couple of middle grades, but yeah, I'm really curious about it. And the next book that I got is Spantacular by Stephanie Garber, and yeah, this showed up in my sequels pile, but I didn't. But this is like a Christmas novella that takes place in the Caraval world, which I'm happy about, and because I miss the Caraval world, but I know that I'm a little intimidated by it, to be honest with you, just because, like, I loved the first two books in the series, but finale I was like iffy about, even though it was like a 4-star read, but the rest of the books in the series were 5-star reads. So yeah, I am a little nervous about it, but I know I do want to read this in the next Christmas season, because I miss the Caraval world, and I want to know where the characters are at, and see what they're up to. So yeah, and I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, because this is green versus, like, with the white and red, and I just really love this edition. Look at the end pages and under the dust jacket. So yeah, and I forgot that I got Finale in the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so I'm like, I gotta get this in Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So So yeah, but yeah, I really want to read this in the next Christmas season just because I miss these characters so much. And the next book that I got, which is Under the Surface by Diana Urban, who's the author of all your, oh gosh, I can't, All Your Twisted Secrets, These Deadly Games, and Lying to Deep. This is her fourth book, and she writes a lot of, she has written YA mystery thriller books, and this is her fourth one. This is her other one that takes place in Paris, and that's all I know about it. I know I enjoyed most of her books, so I want to give this one a try. Like I said, it takes place in Paris, and it looks like they go on the Cave of Bones, and that's all I know about it. But I just know I love her other books so much that I want to read more from her. So yeah, and then she's becoming one of my favorite authors since I've read All Your Twisted Secrets. So of course I got get other books that are written by her. So yeah, I'm just really excited and hopefully get to this very soon since I didn't get to it like all 2024. And the next book that I got, which is Guild by Raven Kennedy. This is the first book in the Play a Prisoner series, and I only know about it. It's a King Midas retelling, but like a fantasy romance as far as I know. And yeah, I've heard mixed things about it, but I just want to give this one a try because I saw this at Half Price Book and I was like, okay, I want to give this a try. And plus I like retellings, and I've heard that like if you didn't like the first book, you should read the second book. It gets better over time. So yeah, I do hope to like this series because it's been also one of the ones that has been hyped because I know it was originally self-published, but then they the publishing company picked up and selling in bookstores. So yeah, and plus I really like the cover. I think it's really cool. So yeah, I'm been wanting to read a lot of fantasy romance lately, so I do hope to enjoy this thing as I like a lot of different retellings. And the next book that I got is The Memory Dress by Jade Beer, and I don't know much about this. I got this from a Once Upon a Book Club box, and I know that it's about like, it has like something to do with Princess Diana or something like that, and it's like a from what I can tell from the synopsis, it's told like different time periods, like during the 1980s and 2018. So I do like getting books from Once Upon a Book Club because I like to read books that are like outside my comfort zone, and this is definitely outside my comfort zone. So, and apparently it's a historical novel, so I do hope to end up enjoying this because it's really interesting to me. And the next book that I got is If You Can Hear This by Faith Gardner, and I also got this from Once Upon a Book Club. This is a YA mystery that was compared to Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I'm like, yes please, because I love Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So I don't know much about this, but I'm really excited to try it out because I haven't heard anybody talk about this book on BookTube. So I do like reading. Again, I like reading books that are outside my comfort zone. Like, even though YA mysteries are in my comfort zone, but with this one that is compared to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I'm like, yes please. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this one out as well. So the next book that I got is Till There Was You by Lindsay Hamaroff, and I know this was one of the books I was anticipating for this year, but I didn't get a chance to read it. But I know this is a adult romance between a woman who works in a pancake shop and a country singer, as far as I know. But I just really like this cover, and the pancakes are making me hungry. So yeah, I'm just really curious about it. And I know she has a new book coming out next year, but I want to read this one first because I like reading some authors' books in publication order if I wanted to. So yeah, I am really curious about it, and I do hope to enjoy that since I've been reading a lot of adult romances according to Goodreads. I've read a lot of romances, so, and they help me get out of rain some. So yeah, I'm just excited to try this one out whenever I can. And the next book that I got is A Wilderness of Stars by Shea Ernshaw, and I got this book because I've been enjoying her books, and I don't know much about this book, but I do want to try it out. It's, from what I can tell, it's about a girl who's, I'm struggling here, and she's the last astronomer from generation to generation. So I'm guessing this is a standalone fantasy book. So, like I said, I really enjoyed Shea Ernshaw's writing, and really like Under the Dust Jacket. So yeah, I bought this book for that reason, and I think she has an adult fantasy book coming out next year, or if not, like another YA fantasy book. So I know I have her other book that is an adult thriller, as far as I know, and I want to read that. So yeah, I'm just glad that I got more of her books on my TBR, just because I enjoyed her other books so much that I want to read more books from this author. And the next book that I got is Thorn of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. This is her adult fantasy book, and I don't know much about this. I just want to read more books by her because I love Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I just read the first book of Kingdom of the Wicked series, and I enjoyed that. And yeah, this is a very big book, and oh, it has a map on the end pages. That's really cool. And I don't know much about this either. I think it's supposed to take place in the same universe as Kingdom of the Wicked, but in adult form. I am not quite sure, but I just know I want to pick this up because I love Kerri Maniscalco's writing and the characters that she created. So, and plus this one has a very pretty cover, and I know the second book just came out in 2024, and I think it's supposed to be a duology, but I'm not quite sure. But again, I'm just really happy that I got one of her books on my shelves because I enjoyed her books so much. And the next two books that I got, they're from the same author. One that I bought for myself, and another one that was gifted to me, which is The Good Part and Is She Really Going Out With Him by Sophie Cousins. I enjoyed her previous books, and with this one, I think it deals with time travel as far as I know. I mean, with the cover, it just sounds like it deals with time travel. Yeah, and they're both adult romance books, and this one, I think there's supposed to be like a fake dating involved. I'm not quite sure, but oh, it's supposed to be like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So yeah, I just like her previous books so much that I want to read more from her, and I'm just glad that I did, because I felt bad for not getting this one last year because that was her release, because I tend to read her books like as soon as I get them, but I didn't do that. So yeah, I'm really excited to read these books, and especially when I enjoyed this author's previous works. And the next book that I got is Kill Her Twice by Stacey Lee. This is the same author as Luck of the Irish, or Luck on the not Luck of the Irish, Luck on the Titanic. Oh my gosh, again, pregnancy brain here. But all I know about it, this is like a it takes place in 1920s Hollywood, and there's a murder mystery involved, and that's all I know about it. I just really enjoyed her previous books so much that I want to give this a try, and plus I really like murder mystery books. So, oh wait, it's in 1930s, not 1920s. So I'm just really curious about this one, and I know she wrote more historical fiction books before Luck on the Titanic, so I do want to give this one a try. This was another multi-pay release of mine that I didn't get to. So, but hopefully soon I will get to it as soon as I can, just because I enjoyed her previous book. And the next book that I got is Sunkissed by Kasie West, and I know that I liked books from her previously, and I don't know much about this, but it sounds like a very summery YA romance, and it's about a girl who's used music as an escape, but then her best friend betrayed her, and then she meets a guy. So that's pretty much all I know about it, but I really like this cover. I think it's really cute, so I know that I want to read more books by her because I really enjoyed her previous books, so yeah, I'm excited about it, but I don't know when I will get to them. But yeah, but a lot of like either adult or young adult romances help me get out of a reading slump anyway, so yeah, I definitely, and I'm surprised how short it is too, but yeah, I'm excited to pick this up whenever I can. I'm sorry if the angle changed, my battery died on me, so the next book that I got is Begin Again by Emma Lord, and I read all the 3 previous books by her, Tweet Cute, You Have a Match, and the one I read last year, When You Get the Chance, and this is another book by her, and I don't know much about this book. Oh. What the heck? I just noticed that my copy has a ripped book inside. What the heck? I might have to try to order a new copy by her. I know I got this from. What the heck? So, yeah, I might have to get another copy of this because this is very ripped on one of the pages. What the heck? I didn't even notice that until now, but anyways, I know it's about a girl who goes to community college, or she's transferred from a community college and starting college. Oh, I like that under the dust jacket, but I'm disappointed that I got a damaged book because I know that there was one book that I got which was damaged because it was like part of the book was ripped. So, but yeah, I'm sad about it, but that's all I know about this book. But I know that she has more books that came out recently, and I don't know, she has another one. I think it's a adult romance. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it isn't. But yeah, I did enjoy her previous books, but I know that Tweet Cute is still my favorite so far. So yeah, even though that the book was partially damaged, and but I'm still excited to read this book either way. And the next book that I got is The Unsinkable Greatest James by Jennifer E. Smith. I've read 2 previous books by her, and I want to try this one out, and all I know about it's an adult it's an adult book, but I don't know much about this other than and I just know that I enjoyed previous books by her, and she was heartbroken from the death of her mother, but then she travels somewhere but on a cruise ship or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I know I want to try this book out. I really like this cover more than the new cover, so that's why I bought this, but I did want to read more books by her because I really enjoyed her previous book. And the next book that I got is Check-In Mate by Ali Hazelwood, not Hallie Hazelwood, Pregnancy Brain here, and I know this is her young adult debut. That's all I know about. I know there's I think there's Enemies to Lovers in here, and I know I've read previous books by this author, The Love Hypothesis and Love and Other Brains, and I know I love The Love Hypothesis so far, and I haven't read Love Theoretically, but I know that she wrote this book, and I want to give this one a try. I know it has to do with chess, and that's all I know about it, and it just sounds really cute. I haven't heard many people talk about this on BookTube, to be honest with you, and I know she wrote 2 other books, I think. One is Bride, which is her adult fantasy book that I also want to give a try, and I don't remember the one that just came out after that. Oh wait, it's called Nine Love. My brain today. So I do want to give this a try because it sounds really cute. So yeah, and plus I enjoyed other books by this author. Next book that I got is Adult Assembled, Required by Abby Wexman. This is the same author as The Bookish Life of Abby of Nina Hill. Oh my gosh, again, my brain today, what is going on? And I don't know much about this book other than I'm a woman who just moves it to another state because of her overprotective family, and that's all I know about it. I think this is a companion novel to Nina Hill. I'm not quite sure, but I know that she wrote other books, so yeah, and I know parts of the book covers like kind of a little damaged, but it's not too damaged to notice it. But yeah, I'm really excited to read more books by this author because I enjoyed Bookish Life of Nina Hill so much. So, and I know she has other books too, but I want to read this one because according to Goodreads, this is like a companion novel to Nina Hill, but I'm not quite sure, but I'll probably double check after I'm done filming this video, but I still want to read more books from this author since I enjoyed Nina Hill so much. So if I'm talking really fast, I apologize. I'm starting to get a little hungry, but I want to get this filming done as soon as possible. So the next book that I got is A Disaster in 3 Acts by Kelsey Rodkey, who's the same author as Last Chance books, which I've read a few years ago and really enjoyed, and I know she has more books out after this one, but all I know about it is about 2 teenagers who are like they're like in a play or something like that, but as far as I know, like one's a cheerleader and one's a play a guy who really likes film, and that's all I know about it. And yeah, and since I enjoyed her previous books so much, I want to read more from her. I know she has more books that just came out. I know there's one called Plus One, I think, and I know that she has another one coming out, so yeah. And but I really like this cover. I think it's really cute, and I really can't wait to read this book whenever I can, but especially when I've read a book previously by her. So the next book that I got this from Barnes & Noble's sale, buy one get one 50% off, and this one is Phantasma by Kelly Smith, and I know this was a book of the month pick, and I know this is very I think this is hyped on BookTube, but I'm not quite sure. I haven't heard many people talk about it, but I know this is a fantasy romance as far as I know, and it's about a woman whose mother has been brutally murdered, and then she tries to find her, save her sister, and that's all I know about it. And I know there's, she meets a character and gets involved, romantically involved, and that's all I know about it. I know there's a sequel of this coming out next year, so hopefully I get to this as soon as possible so I can read the second book, because I really like this cover. I think it's really cool and pretty looking, and there's not a lot of books with skulls on it. I know it's weird to say how cool the cover is, but it does look pretty cool, and I saw the cover for the second book, so hopefully I'll get to this as soon as possible. But yeah, I haven't heard many people talk about this from a group of booktubers that I follow, but I just really enjoy this cover, and plus I want to take advantage of the buy one get one 50% off for their paperbacks. So yeah, I'm really curious about this book. Hopefully I'll get to this as soon as possible. And the next book that I got is Happy Place by Emily Henry, which is same author as Beach Read, People We Met on Vacation, and Book Lovers. I haven't read Book Lovers yet, but I want to get this because I enjoyed Emily Henry's writing so much, and I don't know about this either. I know it's about two people that met in college, and then they fell apart, and then they meet up again like a few years later. I'm not quite sure, but I really like the cover. Sorry, my husband was trying to make me laugh there and checking up on me. So yeah, anyways, that I've been wanting to read this book for a while, and same with Book Lovers, but I've been reading her books like in publication order since Beach Read, and Beach Read is my favorite of her adult romance books so far. And I know there's one that just came out this year, but I forgot what it's called, but I know she has another book coming out next year, so I want to get them all on paperback. So yeah, I'm excited to pick this up since I enjoyed books from some of the books previously from this author. And the next book that I got is, and of course, another Disney book because I can't help myself, which is Fairy Godmother by Jen Kelonita. I'm sorry if I butchered the author's name, but it's the first book in Enchanter Tales, and of course this came with purple edges, which is very pretty, and yeah, it's nothing exciting underneath the dust jacket, but it's basically about Fairy Godmother from Cinderella's origin story, which sounds really cool, and I'm just like really want to get into this one because I'm guessing like there's going to be more Enchanters books, because I'm guessing like some of the next ones would be Merlin, which would sound very cool to me. And yeah, I know I have others in mind I'm guessing that they're going to make an origin story of, and plus as a Disney fan I can't help but pick this one up, and plus I really like the cover as well, so hopefully I'll get to this as soon as possible, like one of the Disney princess books about Prince Philip, and I know I haven't read that series yet, but I do want to get to them try to get to these as soon as possible, especially when I'm a big Disney fan and I just love anything about Disney characters that I know I love. And the next book that I got that was gifted to from my parents, and I thank them for that, which is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gahn. This is the same author as These Violent Delights duology, and oh gosh, I'm writing blanks here. Another book series that was like take place in the same world as that. I can't think on top of my head, but this is her adult sci-fi fantasy book, and I don't know much about this. I know I saw like a BookBox did a special edition of that, but I like the original cover better because it looks pretty and cool. So I don't know much about this, to be honest with you, and I apologize, but I know that I love Chloe Gahn's writing style. Oh, it's a fantasy, so I apologize. And it's apparently it's a retelling of Antony and Cleopatra, which I have not read. So sounds really cool, but I love her writing style and the characters that she created, so I am excited to pick this up since I've read previously from this author. Next book that I got that was gifted to me, and I think from my grandma, so I thank her for that, which is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I've seen this everywhere, and I've seen many people, I've seen mixed reviews of this, but I'm really drawn to this book cover, to be honest with you. It looks like a 1950s or 1960s art style, which I really like, and all I know about it is a cowboy romance, and that's all I know about it. And I know that this book series have been hyped lately, like on BookTube, and on I've seen it everywhere in like bookstores and stuff, so I'm really curious about this because I really love the cover so much, and I do hope to like this because, like I said, I've heard mixed things about it, but I do want to give this a try just because I really like the book cover. And I've read the last book, cowboy romance that I've read, which is a Nicholas Sparks book, the Long Ride, so or The Longest Ride, I should say, and I enjoyed that one. I don't think it'll be like the same as this, but I'm still curious about it either way, and I'm just hoping I'll end up enjoying it so I can read the rest of the books in the series. Okay, four more, because I'm starting to get hungrier. So, the next book that I got is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you guys don't know, Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favorite authors, and Daisy Jones and the Six is still my favorite from her, and this is one of her romance books, but all I know about it's about a woman whose husband died, and then she ends up dating someone else, but then she finds out that her husband was alive the whole time. So very complicated, but I know that there's a movie adaptation of this, and I'm curious about it, but I want to read the book first. So I'm really excited to read this book because I know she wrote other romance books before she wrote historical fiction. So yeah, and I know she has a new book coming out next year, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully read as soon as possible. But yeah, I'm glad that I got this book because I love her other previous books. And the next book that I got is The Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and I apologize for the pronunciation, but this was gifted from my mother-in-law, so I thank her for that. And this was another book that was hyped on BookTube lately, and all I know about is fantasy romance about our main character who's lost her job, and then she applied for a job to be an assistant to a villain. That's all I know about it, and it's a romance as far as I know, and I know the second book just came out this year. I don't have the one with sprayed edges. I know it's not a big deal to me, but I'm really excited to read this, even though some hyped books, like I mentioned previously, they're either hit or miss for me, but I just really love this cover. It's very beautiful, so I am really excited to try this out, because I know that the third book's coming out next year, so or at least in 2025, so I'm really excited to pick this up, because I'm really curious about it, and I've seen it everywhere in bookstores and BookTube and all that, so I'm really excited to pick this up whenever I can. Okay, two more. Next book that I got is The Coven by Harper L. Woods, and I just really love this cover. I just bought this today at Barnes & Noble because they have it like a 50% off of all hardbacks, and I love the sprayed edges as well. And I don't know much about this either. All I know is the fantasy romance, and I think I've heard this book from Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse, so that's all I know. I know that it's a fantasy romance as far as I know, but I don't know much about it, but I'm really curious about it since I've seen it every time I go to Barnes & Noble, and plus one of the booktubers I follow, like I mentioned, so, and plus I really like the cover. It's very interesting looking, and I know there's a second book. I don't know if it's a duology or not, but I am very curious about it, and yeah, I am excited to pick this up, and it's short too, which is very interesting, but again, I'm really excited to pick this up either way. So the last book that I got is Gothic Kana by Rue Nix, and all I know about this book is a mix between it's Beauty and the Beast meets Dracula, which sounds really cool to me, and plus if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you guys know I love Beauty and the Beast, and I've been loving a lot of Beauty and the Beast retellings, but with Beauty and the Beast meeting Dracula, I'm like, yes please. So, and of course it has purple sprayed edges, which is really cool, and also the end paper's really cool, and also underneath dust jacket, and as far as I know about it, I don't want to go more into that, because whenever there's a book that caught my eye with that said this book title meets this book title, I'm just like, yes please. So, and I just really like the cover too. I like how dark it is, so yeah, I am really excited to pick this book up just because it reminds me of one of my favorite fairy tales. And even though I haven't read Dracula, I've seen the movie, and I know on the tale of Dracula, so I am really glad that I'm picking this up, or hopefully I'll pick this up soon, just because it reminds me of two different stories that I really enjoy. And so that's all for my very big book haul. I didn't expect to get that many books, but by the time that I'm going to be a mom, I don't know how many books I'll end up buying for myself, but I know that I can treat myself every now and then, but who knows what's the next year is going to be like, but we shall see. But if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up and comment down below what books that you got recently, because I would like to know. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!